Hey, everyone! Today, we're diving into a topic that's super important, often complicated, but absolutely fascinating: social mobility. Now, before you start thinking, wait, is this going to be a dry, boring talk about the economy? Hold up. I promise this is going to be interesting, eye-opening, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. So stick around. First, let's clear up what we mean when we talk about social mobility. At its core, social mobility is all about how people move up or down the social and economic ladder. Imagine it like a giant escalator. Some people are moving up, some are moving down, and some are, well, just standing still. It's about how someone's life changes in terms of income, education, and overall opportunities. So, if you grew up in a low-income family but ended up becoming a successful entrepreneur, that's social mobility. Or if your grandparents moved to a new country with nothing but a suitcase, and now you're the first in the family to go to college, that's social mobility too. It's the idea that where you start in life shouldn't determine where you end up. Sounds fair, right? But as we'll see, it's not always that simple. 1. Why social mobility matters. Let's start with why social mobility is such a big deal. Think about it. If everyone had the same opportunities to succeed, society would be a lot more equal. It means that regardless of who your parents are, where you were born, or how much money your family has, you should have the chance to follow your dreams and make a better life for yourself. But social mobility isn't just about individuals succeeding, it's about society as a whole. When people can move up the ladder, it leads to a stronger economy, more innovation, and even more happiness. Imagine a world where every person can reach their full potential. Sounds pretty amazing, right? That's the dream. But as you might have guessed, there are a few bumps on the road to making this dream a reality. 2. The challenges to social mobility. Right. So if social mobility is so awesome, why isn't everyone moving on up? Well, here's where it gets tricky. There are a ton of obstacles that can make it hard for people to climb that social ladder. Let's break down some of the big ones. A. Education. First up, education. We hear it all the time: education is the key to success. But what if not everyone has the same key? If you grow up in a wealthy neighborhood, you're more likely to go to a school with good teachers, smaller class sizes, and lots of resources. But if you're in a low-income area, the schools might be underfunded, overcrowded, and lacking in basic supplies. This creates a situation where some kids are starting the race miles ahead, while others are struggling just to get to the starting line. And let's not even get started on how expensive college can be. For many families, the cost of higher education is a barrier that stops them from moving up the social ladder. B. Economic inequality. Next, let's talk about money. Yep, that green stuff that makes the world go round. Economic inequality is a huge obstacle to social mobility. When there's a big gap between the rich and the poor, it's harder for people at the bottom to move up. Imagine trying to climb a ladder where the rungs are super far apart. You need a lot more effort, and maybe even a trampoline just to make it to the next level. In societies where there's a huge wealth gap, opportunities can be scarce. And if there are no opportunities, there's no way to move up. It's like playing a game where the rules are rigged against you, and no matter how hard you try, it feels like you're not getting anywhere. That's not just frustrating, it's unfair. C. Discrimination. And here's a big one. Discrimination, racism, sexism, ableism, all the isms you can think of. These things can make it harder for people to move up the social ladder because they create barriers that have nothing to do with the person's talent, skills, or potential. For example, studies have shown that people with ethnic-sounding names might have a harder time getting a job interview than people with more common names. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. When people face discrimination, it can limit their access to education, job opportunities, and even housing, making it tougher for them to achieve their dreams. D. Networking and connections. Ever heard the saying, it's not what you know, but who you know? There's a lot of truth to that. Networking can be a huge factor in social mobility. If your parents are well connected and can introduce you to people who can help you get ahead, that's a big advantage. But if you don't have those connections, it's a lot harder to find those opportunities. That doesn't mean you can't succeed, it just means you have to work even harder to build your own network. It's like being at a party where everyone knows each other except you, and you're just trying to figure out how to join the conversation. 3. How some countries are tackling these challenges. No, it's not all doom and gloom. Some countries have recognized these issues and are working to improve social mobility. Take Finland, for example. Their education system is designed to be equal for everyone, which means no matter where you live or how much money your parents make, you'll have access to the same quality of education. Or look at Denmark, where there are strong social safety nets like free healthcare, affordable housing, and support for unemployed people. These things make it easier for people to pursue education and job opportunities without worrying about basic needs. Even though these systems aren't perfect, they show that it's possible to create a society where people have a real chance to move up. And that brings us to our next point. 4. What can be done to improve social mobility? So, what can we do to make things better? Here are a few ideas. Invest in education. Make sure every child, no matter where they live, has access to high-quality education. And yes, that includes making college more affordable or even free. Raise the minimum wage. Paying people a fair wage for their work can help close the gap between the rich and the poor, making it easier for people to save money, invest in their futures, and move up the ladder. Fight discrimination. Create policies that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in schools, workplaces, and communities. This can help break down the barriers that keep people from achieving their full potential. Encourage entrepreneurship. Make it easier for people to start their own businesses by providing access to loans, grants, and training programs. After all, some of the biggest companies in the world were started by people who took a chance on their dreams. 5. Why should you care about social mobility? Alright, let's get personal for a moment. Why should you care about all of this? Because social mobility affects all of us. When people have the opportunity to succeed, they're happier, healthier, and more motivated. And a society full of happy, healthy, and motivated people, that's a society that's innovative, prosperous, and strong. Think of it this way. If you had a brilliant idea, wouldn't you want the chance to make it happen, no matter where you come from? That's what social mobility is all about, giving everyone a fair shot at success. Wrapping up, so there you have it. Social mobility is about more than just moving up the economic ladder. It's about creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to be their best self. Sure, there are challenges, but there's also a lot we can do to make things better. And that's why conversations like these are so important. So the next time someone talks about social mobility, you'll know exactly what they mean, and you'll know why it matters. Thanks for sticking around, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going.